Hey guys, in this video, I'm going to talk about user authentication in the portals. So before that, I want to discuss the difference between authentication and authorization. So I don't care what the normal definitions or standard definitions say. The difference is pretty simple. So authentication is when you authenticate a user by logging in. So when you log into, let's say, Facebook, it will authenticate if you're a user or not, if your username and password match, and if you're registered or not. That is authentication. Authorization pertains to the access and the permission levels. For example, if you go into Dynamics 365 and you want to use the contact entity, but you're not able to use it, which means you're not authorized to use it. Or if you're not able to create a new record in contacts entity, it means you're not authorized to do it. So that is the difference between authentication and authorization. In this video, further, I'm going to talk about authentication part of it. So whenever you have a portal, again, let's say for students registration, you don't want anybody and everybody to come and access your portal and see all the details. You need some sort of authentication. So that is what I'll be discussing in this video further. Now guys, this video on authentication will be a slightly long video, and rightly so, because there are a few concepts which I want to cover here. So let's go right into it. So whenever I open my portal page, I have an option called sign in. So here I want to explain each part of this slowly. So the first one is the sign in. So here, if you already have a username and password, you can sign in here. Alternatively, if you have an Azure Active Directory username and password, you can click on this and you can sign from there. So here it will ask me for AAD, Azure Active Directory Authentication, and I can sign from there. But right now we have none of these. So let's say I'll click on register. If I click on register, I can give my username, email, password, I can confirm it, and I can register myself and log in. So this is an option using which, let's say if I run a company, a coaching business, and I have a portal for that, and I want it to be open to everybody. That means that any John Doe can come here and register, and then I'll get the details. So this probably works in my context. But what if it is an external portal for a particular vendor only? I don't want anybody on the internet to come here and register. So that scenario will happen most of the times in your corporate life. That I'll discuss later on how to remove this particular register button. But now let's explore this option out since we are here. So here I'll give my personal email ID, and the username is Dynamics Trainer, and I'll give a password, and I'll click on register. Okay, as you see here, passwords must contain characters from at least three or following four classes: uppercase, lowercase, digit, and non-alphanumeric. Okay, so let's give a proper password, and I'll click on register. So here it will further ask me for my details. So first name I'll give, last name. So here I'll just give it as test login user. So this is all I want to give for now, and then after I've given all this, I'll just click on update. So right now, this is how we logged in. So the concept here is whenever you you register yourself and you log in, a contact in your name will be created. So for example, if I go here and I click on contacts and I go to all contacts, see this one, test login user, this contact has been created. So this is the first concept. Now I'll sign out from here again. and I'll try to sign in. And here again, I'll select register and I'll give some other content. And I'll click on register again. So here the page you see here, right? This can also be customized. So this is the out of the box option. So we can customize whole of this page. How do we do that? Again, it's pretty simple. We go to the portal management page and then we go to the web pages, and here we have a profile web page. So this is the place where we can actually, change the data. So if I go here in the localized content, I can click on profile. And if you see here, all this content is available here, whatever is written on the top. If I don't want to see all of this, I'll simply remove this and click on save and close. Now all that data will be removed. But again, if I actually check it out, if I actually go to the page template and see where it's pointing to a UI. So where does all this information come from and where can I change it? So again, it is a pretty simple thing. We'll go to advanced settings. We will go to contact entity. So what you see over there is actually a form in the contact entity. So if I actually go to customizations and I click on customize the system, and if I go to entities and select the contact entity, and I go to forms here, you can see this profile web form. So this is where I can make the changes. So let's test it out. If I open this out and I want to, let's say, remove email and business phone field, I'll just click on remove. This email also I want to remove. I want to remove title also. I want to remove nickname also. So I've removed all this. I clicked on save and I will click on publish. I'll click on save and close. And now I'll go back here. Here I'll click on sync configuration. And I'll do control F5. And I'll click on register again. Here I'll give my email again and username. And I'll give a password. And I'll click on register. Okay, this is already taken. So I'll just give another one. Now, as you can see, everything is gone. It's not asking for our, email address and mobile phone number, our title, or our nickname. And here on top of it, whatever information is there, it's gone. So this is how we configure. Now I want to get back to the second train of thought, which is, so here, as I said, if I'm running a company through which anybody can register, come to the portal and register, then it's well and good. I definitely want to give this option here. So this will form a major part of my sales funnel. But what if I want to remove this? I don't want to give this to everybody. So in usual corporate context, let's say you're designing CRM systems or portal systems for a major bank, they don't want everybody to come and register just like that. So usually they use this option, redeem invitation. So they'll send an invitation code and then you can check the invitation code and then you can log in through that. We don't want to give this option. So how do I do that? I will go here, and this time around I'll go to the site settings. So this is the main part where you actually control the site setting. So for example, if you want me to take this site setting, if I click on this, so this will see maximum number of attempts. For example, if I give the wrong password, it will let me do it 1,000 times before my IP address is blocked. So instead of that, I just want to make it 10 times. So 1,000 times is way too much. So I'll click on save and close. So that particular portal setting is closed here. And if you remember previously at the beginning of the video, when I gave a password, I just gave a numeric password, normal general password, and it said to me that you'll have to give uppercase and lowercase as well. So that also you can modify that from here, these settings. So this is where the site settings are present. So now to remove that registration part, what I'll do is I'll go to authentication registration enabled, and here instead of true, I'll write false, and I'll click on save. I'll save and close. And then just to clear the cache, I'll click on sync configuration again. Here I'll go back. And as you can see, the entire registration is gone here. So I've probably touched the wrong setting. So now what we want to do here is, again, I've re-enabled it as true. What I'll have to disable is open registration. So this I'll make it as false. Now if I go here and click on Control F5, this should probably go away. Ha, voila. So as you can see, that has gone away now. So that is how you use site settings. It's highly confusing and there are a lot of settings. There are a lot of custom settings also you can create. That is the advantage of it. Now that we have talked about registration, the second mode of login I want to talk about is redeem invitation. So the moment I click on this, it will ask me for an invitation code. So where do I get this invitation code from? That I'll discuss. So to get the invitation code, I'll basically have to go to invitations here. And I'll click on new invitation. I'll just type test invite. I will not give any expiry date. I'll give it a single. And here I'll have to select a contact. Since we don't already have a contact, I'll create a new contact for this. I'll go back. And if I go to advanced here, I'll get an invitation code. So this code I can directly send it to my Gmail ID also. I'll have to create or I'll have to use the Power Automate flow to do that. So when I create a Power Automate flow, it's very simple actually. You can just take this code and you'll have to modify and troubleshoot this flow a little. But the invitation, the moment it gets created, it will be sent to me.